Alright, the event has just started. The event has just started. This is the Minehut drama.
All right, so Luke, one talk.
He's muted. He is muted.
Okay, guys, this is getting ridiculous. When we first demoted Pixelific, we wanted to keep it quiet. Me and the other admins agreed that we didn't want to start any drama or cause any issues for Pixel because we wanted them to be able to play here with his friends and everything without him, like, I don't know, feeling hated in the community or anything like that. But apparently the feeling wasn't mutual and he wanted to start this. So I'm just going to say the main reasons that we demoted him. He's not a bad person or anything. It just, at the end of the day, we wanted to do what's right for Minehut and for its future growth. Again, it's not because like Pixelific is like bad or anything. Like, he's a great guy. It's just not what we wanted for Minehut. But anyway, here, okay, our main reasons. One, we had an issue, kind of like a temper problem that we noticed. A lot of times when we're working on projects, with Minehut, we don't really want to have to convince all the mod team or whoever is on the project team for that project. So, for example, when we were building a lobby, the administrators, we don't want to have to spend time trying to convince people on what we're trying to do because, you know, we spend a lot of time planning everything out in private, and then we want to be able to execute it as fast as we can. And we had a lot of issues with Pixelific wanting to kind of go his own way on a lot of stuff, and it halted a lot of our progress. There was several times where if something didn't go his way, he'd kind of just rage quit, leave the server, and basically like disrupt the entire build process. And so that happened multiple times, and that was really frustrating. Like I was saying in chat, I even talked to him about that once and explained my frustration. And so that's kind of where his main argument kind of falls apart, because he said that it was completely unwarranted that we demoted him, and that's just not true. I 100% expressed my frustration with it. And then we also had other issues with, probably the biggest thing was him hosting a survival server, apparently. I didn't really know much about this until after the other admins decided they wanted to demote him, but they were explaining to me that I guess he had some sort of survival server outside of Minehut, which, I mean, as a senior staff member, that's just kind of unacceptable to do. Minehut is all about server hosting, and the fact that one of the high up staff members is not wanting to use Minehut's resources and, you know, show off what Minehut can do, but instead just kind of wants to take players from Minehut and put them on its own little survival server or whatever, and not really stick with Minehut and the core of Minehut. That's just disheartening to see. Personally, I actually found offense to that. I thought that was, I don't know. I mean, I could see a regular player doing that. That's fine. But as someone with like a senior position, it's just not right. I mean, can you imagine if someone who worked for like MC Pro hosting decided, oh, I'm just going to use like a cubed craft server host instead of MC Pro hosting? It's just like, that's just, you know. Hey, Dexcentrix, I see what you're saying. Like, I know it's his private server, but again, he's a representative of Minehut, and if he's not using Minehut services, that's just, you just can't go doing that. Honestly, that right there is just unacceptable too. So that's another point. And then apparently there was other issues on that survival server. I think Pixelific even mentioned this in this post, that two Minehut staff members were on it and were doing whatever. Apparently they like griefed his house or something. I'm not really sure, but because I guess it's a survival server. But even though he specifically says that the server is private, and he's actually saying that right now that the server is private and has nothing to do with Minehut, he still decided that he's going to give them Minehut official staff warnings for doing that on his private server. So, I mean, that just seems like a huge contradiction in his own argument right there, that he's saying that the server is private and has nothing to do with Minehut, but then he's giving Minehut staff warnings for actions that we're taking on his private server. So it just doesn't make sense to me. I'm trying to catch up on all the messages right now. Okay, so all right, so people are saying that when they were warned, it was when it was still hosted on Minehut. That's kind of still just irrelevant uh, because that server again had nothing to do with the Minehut like staff system. Like everyone knows, one of the core concepts of Minehut is that player servers can do what they want, and that's separate from the Minehut staff. So, I mean, that's a direct confliction with our like internal rules that he would do that. So, yeah, I don't see how that's justified. And no, you're not going to be able to speak, dude. You're done on the public platform. You're just like this is. You should never be able to do something like this, like pull crap like this. And again, we went and surveyed multiple staff members. So, and I wasn't even the one who brought up the demoting of him. The other admins actually agreed and kind of just ran it by me. So it's not like it's me doing this. I'm just the one who has to try and clean this up right now. It wasn't my idea. Yeah, I think it's dumb too. I don't see why it had to cause all this drama. Like, again, this is kind of like one of the core things, though, that the admins were explaining. How when something doesn't go his way, it's just an all-out halt, basically. I'm reading chat right now. Pixel, you're free to just type your messages right in here. We can all say the chat. If you're not going to work with us and respect us and cause all this drama, you're not going to be able to get special privileges like talking in front of all these people. The whole network didn't see it disappointing. You and whoever probably built the house found it disappointing. That has nothing to do with Minehut as a network. That's just a plain like abuse of power right there. That you're using the Minehut network staff tools to punish players because they griefed your Minecraft survival house. Like that's just unacceptable. It wasn't my staff. It's actually your staff. You're the one who promoted these guys. No, yeah, players are not banned for griefing. There's only been like 2 or 3 cases of people getting banned, and it wasn't really for griefing. It was mainly for network exploits. Exploiting is against the rules. Griefing is not against the rules. Okay, guys, grief servers now. It's allowed. Okay, Pixelific, that's... You're just being ridiculous. Yeah, calling people bad words and curse words in player servers is also allowed, but that's not something you should do. Just because it's allowed doesn't mean you should do it and vouch for it. That just kind of shows what type of person you are. Yeah, I said it's allowed, but I didn't say you should do it. And the fact that you said you should do it, it's just... Because I personally don't care what you have to say. I'm just here explaining why we demoted you, because apparently nobody knows why. And in your post, you have like a lot of fallacies in there. So that's the whole reason I'm in here, is just explaining it. Not to be able to argue with you on anything. I really just don't care, to be honest. I'd rather just go code right now. Oh yeah, Big Critter. I don't agree with it either. I would have just demoted it. I said at the beginning of this that I think Pixelific is a great guy and everything. I'm not saying he's like bad or anything. I'm just saying that moving forward, I don't think it's the right fit. Yeah. Again, like the whole reason that I didn't want to post anything is because I like Pixelific and I didn't want him to feel uncomfortable in Minehut. But